What's new, crew? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name's Cassandra. We are hanging out in the kitchen today. We're doing a couple of things. We are, of course, as you see here, getting a crock pot meal in the crock pot. This actually isn't a crock pot meal, but I'm using it as a crock pot meal just because why the heck not? My beef is completely frozen, and it was early enough in the day where I knew I could throw this in and get it done. So I'm just following this recipe here. I'll have it linked down below for you guys if you want to check it out. It was okay. It was a little bland, it wasn't too hot, but it did get the job done and get dinner on the table. So you can never be too mad at that, but we're doing this here. We're also pulling some stuff out of the freezer to prep for a canning day that I'm doing the next day. And we are also making two different kinds of muffins to get the snack jars filled back up for the remaining of the week for easy breakfasts for the kids. We are doing two brand new muffins today that I've never done before, and they both are fantastic. We're doing a cinnamon and sugar banana muffin, and we're also doing a carrot and zucchini muffin. Both of these have been in my Pinterest for a long time, and today was finally the day we were getting it done. They were both fantastic. I would make both of these muffins again, and they're actually, the kids are preferring the carrot zucchini muffins over the banana ones, but let's go ahead and get going and get some muffins going. My crock pot meal is going. This recipe is not a crock pot meal, but I'm using it as a crock pot meal. My husband's working a shutdown tonight, so he's not gonna be home till really late. Probably gonna be working like an 18-hour shift today. That's just the way it goes sometimes. So I wanted something easy. I will either make homemade noodles to go with the stroganoff that's in the crock pot, or I do have a bag of egg noodles in my pantry. I'm leaning towards just boiling the egg noodles and calling it a really easy meal. I have some leftover rolls that I made last night, so we'll have those. If I had mushrooms, I would throw that in the crock pot as well, but I don't have any, so that's just the way it is. I'm going to put this stuff away. Then the next thing I want to do is go hunting in my freezers and such, because I want to do a canning project tomorrow with some jams, and I want to pull, well, you know what, I could probably just leave it in my freezers. You know what, no, I already decided. We're gonna pull the stuff out of my freezers. I need to pull out some rhubarb and some cranberries and some strawberries so that we can make strawberry rhubarb jam, and also some strawberry cranberry jam, like a Christmas jam. And then I also found a recipe while I was looking for which jam recipes I kind of wanted to use. I found a cranberry applesauce recipe, and my neighbors just gave us 2 huge totes full of apples, and I want to get some of those preserved up because we're definitely not going to be able to eat all of them before they go bad. So I'm kind of leaning towards doing that, making some cranberry applesauce, because I know I bought too many cranberries for the jam. So I might be able to get those going as well, but I'm not gonna have to worry about doing anything with the apples because they'll be ready to use whenever I'm ready to do something with them. So let's pull out my freezer stuff and kind of give this a little bit of a reset. Cranberries in here that I got from Aldi this month. They are local, like Wisconsin grown cranberries, so that's why I bought these ones. Okay, we are back in the kitchen. I had to take a baby break. I laid Cleo down a little before 11 and she was not having it. So I was able to get the crock pot meal in the crock pot and pull some stuff out of the freezers. But then I went and got her. We had lunch. We hung out for a little bit. It is now 12:30. She just laid down. She's successfully napping. So I'm back at it. I started to just really quickly look through 2 of my favorite canning cookbooks, the home preservation one, and then I also have this Amish canning and preserving one. A lot of great jellies, jams, soups, a lot of really great things in this book. I love it a lot. But I was looking for a strawberry rhubarb jam recipe. I couldn't find them in here, so I looked one up online. I'll have this linked down below, but I have my bag of rhubarb here. I'm just trying to figure out how much I need to set out to thaw in time for my canning escapades for tomorrow. So this recipe calls for 3 cups of strawberries and 2 cups of rhubarb for 1 batch. I plan on using just this whole bag of frozen strawberries. So I'm just gonna take a peek in here and try to maybe figure out how many cups of strawberries I think this is. I'm just trying to do a little bit of prep work for tomorrow, so that's really streamlined. So,
Mom, I like this movie.
Oh, that's good. I still have lunch out. We had leftover creamy dumpling soup with some rolls. It was delicious. So I just want to measure out these strawberries really quick, just so I have a better idea. Okay, about 4 cups. So I'm probably gonna need 6 cups of rhubarb. I know it might be a little bit different once they're thawed, but I have a second bag sitting out as well thawing, because we're also going to do Christmas jam, which is like cranberries and strawberries, and I need 20 ounces, and this is a 24 ounce bag, so I might take a little bit out of that batch to put in with our strawberry rhubarb. So my sister-in-law gave me this rhubarb from her garden. She pre-measured these for me. She's a lot better at that than I am, evidently. So these are all 2, oh, perfect. She has actually some in different cups. Okay, 2 cups, 2 cups. Look, how wonderful is that? She has a 6 cup mark here. Oh, she's awesome at that. Okay, so I need, so the recipe calls for 3 cups of strawberries. I have 4 here. So I'm gonna set out 2 of these 2 cups of rhubarb. That way, if it's a little more, if it's a little less, at least I have it. So I'm gonna set these out with my strawberries. I also have another 2 cups here, and then she gave me 2 6 cups of rhubarb, which is awesome. I'm also kind of debating, one of my father-in-law's favorite pie of all time is strawberry rhubarb pie. So I was thinking about making him one as well. I'm not gonna have enough strawberries and rhubarb tomorrow to do that while I'm making the jam. But now that I know that I have all this extra rhubarb, probably when I go grocery shopping for December, I'll pick up another bag of strawberries and then make a strawberry rhubarb jam. I host Christmas, that's my designated holiday. So maybe for Christmas, I'll make a strawberry rhubarb like crumble or something and have that out on the dessert table. I think that would be really good. Maybe some hand pies or something with like a little bit of a glaze over the top. So maybe we'll figure something out with that. But I'm gonna put the rest of this rhubarb in the freezer, and then I'm going to get on to making the stuff that I actually wanted to make today. My snack jars for the kids are empty. I just got back from a 4-day trip to South Carolina. I had the honor to watch my brother graduate basic training last week. So proud of him. So he graduated basic training. He is off to AIT. Really proud of him. So really excited that I got to do that. But because I was gone, I left cookie dough balls in the freezer for my husband to make while I was gone, so he was able to do that to keep the snack jars filled. But because we did cookies, I want to do muffins this time. So this morning I set out bananas from the freezer and a little bit of zucchini. I figured we would probably do like a zucchini banana muffin, do something like that. We'll see what ends up happening here, because I always say that I'm gonna make one thing in the kitchen and then it can turn into something else. So I'm gonna get these all put away. I'll see you guys back in a second. I settled on this cinnamon banana muffin recipe. I've had it in my bins for a while and I've never made it. So today is the day. We need 2/3 cup sugar, all the things. I'm also trying to get better at actually laying out all of my ingredients on the counter before I start. That way it's a little bit more streamlined for myself. So I think I did that today. I'm sure that I missed something, and when we realized it, oh well, at least I tried. I also wanted to say, look what my husband got me. I've been wanting one of these for forever, and I actually put it on my Christmas list. So what myself and my husband do to make Christmas less stressful is we just make a list of the things that we actually want and put a handful of things on it. I guess kind of what you do for kids. I guess it's not that groundbreaking, but it makes it a lot less stressful of trying to figure out what the other person wants. Like here are, you know, like 6 items that I would really like. You pick whatever off of the list. That way there is still a little bit of a surprise, but you have a little bit of an idea. And I had this on the list and my husband was like, I'm just gonna give it to you. So he gave this to me last night and I am so excited to use this thing. So I have a little bit of a head cold. It's gone now, but it's just like still in my chest. I'm a little bit congested. So if I sound a little weird, that's what it is. I also haven't emptied out my dishwasher yet today because Cleo just hasn't let me do it yet, which is okay. It's just how it rolls sometimes. So this recipe is calling for vegetable oil or canola oil. I always switch it out for olive oil. I am so excited to use this KitchenAid attachment right now. It feels, it's crazy what you get excited about, but oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm gonna throw in my baking soda, my baking powder right away. I like to do that before I add in. So the recipe calls for 2/3 a cup of bananas. I'm just gonna dump in both of my bananas. I'm not gonna measure it. I'm sure one banana would be plenty, but I've got a load of bananas in my freezer right now, so I'm gonna use 2 just to kind of get them out of there. I almost never use, what are those called? Cupcake liners or muffin liners. I just spray it really good. I know you can get those reusable ones, but I don't know, it's just not something I'm interested in right now. We use these muffins for breakfast before school. I throw them in lunch boxes. The kids eat them as after school snacks or before bed snacks. So these go really quickly, I think more quickly than some people would realize. When you have 6 people eating them, the muffins are probably going to be gone within 3 days, 4 days maybe, just depending on kind of what other snacks are in the house or how hungry kids are, if they want them in lunch boxes, things like that. So muffins tend to go really quickly, I think even quicker than the cookies do personally, probably because we're more willing to let the kids eat the muffins more regularly than we are the cookies. But if you have a good muffin recipe that your family really loves, you should definitely send it my way. We are always looking for new things, and as much as I love Pinterest, there's only so many things that you can find on the internet, and sometimes those old recipes out of Grandma's cookbook are the best anyways. Originally, my plan was to do a applesauce zucchini cake that I make all the time in the summer while the zucchini is fresh. I don't have any cream cheese, so I can't make any frosting right now for that. So I thought maybe we could have it more as like a cupcake or like a muffin, I guess. I don't know. It's really good though. But I also have Pinterest kind of when I'm bored and I have nothing to do a lot, or like late at night if I'm up with the baby or something. So I just pin literally anything that looks interesting to me. So I think what I'm going to make today is something else that's been in my list for a very long time, and that is these carrot cake zucchini muffins. My Pinterest is linked down below if you want to go find these, but it's in my baking section. A cup of shredded carrots, a cup of zucchini or squash. So I'm just kind of making sure that I have everything. I should, because I keep all this stuff on hand. Perfect. I just shredded it in the garbage because just one carrot peel isn't really enough for me to worry about running down to the chickens right away. And my husband was running the house obviously while I was gone for the week, and all of my scrap buckets are gone. So I'm gonna have to ask him what happened to those. If I have to guess, they're probably down by the chicken coop, which I've talked about before. I am notorious for that. If I carry things out to the chicken coop, I forget about them because I set them down and then I'm watering chickens, I'm feeding chickens, or I'm grabbing eggs, or I'm doing something, or I get distracted by the garden. And then before I know it, all of my scrap buckets are down there in the chicken coop. So I'm pretty sure that they're down there. I just need to go look for them a little bit, but they're not up here, so in the garbage it goes.
Mom, uh-oh, those just what they going. Maybe you have to aid them.
So my zucchini is probably 80% thawed or unfrozen, however you want to say it. Zucchini is so watery, so I'm going to squeeze out some of the juice into the sink and measure out a cup. I'm pretty sure I put 2 or 3 cups, maybe 4 cups in these. I don't know, because unlike my sister-in-law, I did not write on the bag how much is in here. So I'm gonna squeeze, put it in my 1 cup measure here, and dump it in with my carrots. Like, oh my gosh, this icy zucchini is really cold. No, you wouldn't say that the icy zucchini that you took out of the freezer is making your hands cold. Oh no!
That's okay, Mom.
It is okay.
We have a clean up plate.
Right. Thank you, buddy. Apparently I didn't put the cap on my cinnamon. I just threw it across the room, but nothing spilled, so that's good because it's almost empty. So put in a little bit of cinnamon. I'm gonna put the cap on it properly this time so I don't do that again. Oh my goodness. Okay. If I'm gonna forget anything, it's almost always vanilla, which is like one of the worst things you can forget. So I won't forget. So it's in there. We're gonna add in a half a cup, right? Yes, a half a cup of brown sugar. Delicious. I'm very excited to try these. This is one of my favorite. Carrot cake is one of my favorites. So if this is really good, I could see myself making this into a cake form and bringing it to like a party or to a get-together or something like that, or making it into a quick bread. I think that would be really good as well. Sugar in there. I'm gonna let this start kind of creaming together a little bit here.
Mom, how did it go?
Don't know. I'm gonna let that mix while I scoop out a 4th cup of sour cream. I love recipes that use sour cream. That way I always know the cake or the muffin or whatever it is gonna be so light and fluffy and moist. I love using sour cream in baking. It calls for a 3rd cup of coconut oil, and I don't really want to melt coconut oil right now, so I'm gonna substitute it just with my olive oil that I have right here. This recipe also calls for a 4th cup of your crushed nuts of choice, walnuts, pecans, whatever it is. I'm debating on whether I put it in or not. I think I'm gonna leave the nuts out. I just know my kids personally. My kids are all still really little, and they are a lot less likely to eat it if I put the nuts in it, so I'm gonna leave them out. Now I think the only thing left we have to do is add in our cup of flour. I may add in a hair bit more flour just because our zucchini was really watery. It was still a little bit frozen. In hindsight, I probably should have put it in the microwave to finish thawing it out first, but it is what it is. If the batter looks really runny to me, I'll just add in a hair bit more flour and get it back up to a little bit more of a consistency that I like, but I'm looking at it. It looks okay to me, so I think I'm gonna leave it. Our banana muffins are done, so I'm gonna let these out, let these cool, and then we'll dip and put them in the cinnamon and sugar, but I'm gonna let those cool. I also turned my oven off because I realized I thought I preheat my oven to 375. I actually preheated it to 450. So I'm gonna give it a minute, let my oven cool down a little bit before I put the next round of muffins in, because those cooked a lot faster than they should have. They're done, they're not burnt, but they're definitely on the cusp. So I don't wanna make that same mistake with my next round. I'm gonna do the exact same thing with my pan. I also pulled out my mini muffin tins. That way, whatever I have left over that doesn't fit in this pan, I'm gonna make out of minis. I'd also put raisins in here too. I think that would be really good. This would be a fun one, maybe even to bring out for the holidays if you want to do mini carrot cake cupcakes. You could make a cream cheese frosting to put on top of these and then just have them be like little bite-sized cakes. Like you could even put them in the mini muffin tins and just make them bite-sized to-go pieces. I think that would be really fun if you're looking for something maybe a little bit different. I'm gonna put this one in the oven and we're gonna grab our mini tin and finish filling that. I did put it in the oven. My oven is still off. It's still pretty warm. So I'm just gonna kind of give it a minute. It can sit in there while the oven's still a little hot, but I'm gonna wait until I turn it on. I'm excited about these mini muffins. It's got me thinking now. You could also do like mini brownies, mini cheesecakes, and then you could just have like a mini bites dessert bar. That would be fun. That's my kind of desserts. I've talked about that in the past. I like to try it all. So when it's like just a bite-sized of something, that makes me excited because then I can try a lot more than I could if I had to take a whole piece. Looks like I'm gonna get almost an entire tray
Can we put this back?
of these mini muffins too. And then what I think I might do is actually just freeze these mini muffins right away, and then maybe like in December or something I'll pull these back out. Maybe I will just save these for Christmas and pull them out and make a little bit of frosting and put on the top of these. That might actually be a really good idea. So these ones are probably gonna be destined for the freezer, but I'm gonna put this in the oven too. So I've got our butter here. Okay, so I've got my dipping butter here and my cinnamon and sugar mixture here, and then I'm going to take a second and kind of clear this off so that I can get my cooling racks up here so I can dip it and then put it on the cooling rack right away. All of my muffins have this really weird shape, so it's not the easiest. I just pulled out our carrot cake, zucchini cake muffin things. They smell so good. They're delicious. While these finished baking, I was able to clear the kitchen, get the dishes unloaded and reloaded. Yay me. And I was able to check on our Crockpot meal, which is looking really great. I'll show you guys a little clip of that as it's finishing. We're gonna eat that over egg noodles And then I think I'm gonna break out some corn on the cob that we have blanched and in the freezer from the summertime here that we preserved up. So I got our banana muffins, our zucchini carrot muffins, our minis, which I have decided the minis I am going to go ahead and freeze and put those, well, put them in a bag and freeze them. I'm very happy I was able to accomplish everything I wanted to accomplish in the kitchen today. These muffins are done. I've set out all of these stuff for thawing for our canning tomorrow. Make sure that you watch or you subscribe if you're not. I am going to be filming that. We're making strawberry rhubarb jam, Christmas jam. I also have intentions on making a salted caramel, and we're also going to be making at some point some Oktoberfest beer mustard. I'm going to hand that out as gifts as well. So lots of canning projects still happening even though garden season's over. We have barbecue sauce we're doing. We're going to do a sweet and sour barbecue sauce. So lots of canning projects still need to get underway. I got to get stuff out of the freezers, making room for the deer. It is opening weekend in like 2 days. Thanks so much for taking time out of your day to hang out with me in my kitchen, making some muffins, testing some things, and just doing a little bit of prepping for some canning projects that we have going ahead here. I hope that you guys are having a fantastic day wherever you are, and I will catch you guys in the next one.
All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. In the mirror, so foggy, but I've never seen clearer. I don't really think anyone can save me, and honestly I'm not really sure I want saving. I like to be my own worst enemy. There's no risk if you don't try at anything.